I think I speak for all of us when I say we love Mike Pence. And why do we love Mike Pence? Because before I came here, for the last few days, I was calling people from Washington, people who had worked with him on the Hill, people who had served in his administration, and Democratic leaders. And I said, what could I say about Pence? Can you give me something interesting? I'm speaking to a Jewish organization. They're Zionist, they're religious. And I got one theme back from everybody. Nobody, but nobody is more pro-Israeli than Mike Pence. Nobody. And I'll give you a great example of that. He doesn't know this, but 16 years ago, he doesn't know I'm going to say this, is rather what I meant to say. 16 years ago to the day, on February 14th, when he was the ranking Republican leader in the House in the Foreign Affairs Committee, he had in his subcommittee people testifying about Israel. And Dr. Daniel Pipes was testifying. Now, if you know Dr. Daniel Pipes, he's a super Zionist, a very right-wing guy supporting Israel. And guess what happened? Mike Pence chastised him for not being pro-Israeli enough. True story. I called up Daniel on my way here. He said, Harley, this is who this guy is. He's unbelievable. So we have to know that this is truly, truly an exceptional person and a gift from God. Now, I had the good fortune of meeting Mike Pence during the last Bush administration. We spent a lot of time together. And he's the one that taught me something. When I asked him why he was so pro-Israeli and so pro-Zionist, he said, the Bible tells me, if you bless Israel, God will bless you. If you curse Israel, God will curse you. And that has been his guiding principle. And what you also probably don't know is at that time, when Israel withdrew from Gaza, he came to my home in Manhattan, and he said, let's get together a group of Jewish leaders, and let's sit down in Gaza and refuse to move. Now, who does things like that? Nobody. So that's what makes him really exceptional. You know, today, a lot of people forget, but there's only one people, and Mike Pence is clearly aware of this, that from 3,000 years ago, there's only one people in the world that live in the same land, speak the same language, and worship the same God. And when you talk about Judea and Samaria, he understands. I asked him in the room when I met with him, can I say this? And he said, 1,000%. And what I said, well, you don't know what I'm going to say.
He said about Judea and Samaria is enough.
No, he said more than that. What God gave the Jewish people, no man can take away. I don't know any leader in the United States that is in the world he's in right now, I'll leave it at that, that would say that. That's what makes him truly exceptional and really unique. You know, I just came back from Israel myself. I was with the USAID mission and meeting with Palestinian leaders. And I was in the West Bank, I was in Nablus, and I was sitting down with 50 Palestinian businessmen. And when we sit down, right away, I said, I want to be honest with you. I want to be upfront. I'm a big Zionist. I just want to be honest with you. I want you to know that. And when we spoke, one of the guys pulled out of his wallet a picture of his grandparents that has a house outside of Jaffa, a black and white picture, and he showed that to me. And I felt a little bad for him, but then I thought about it, and I realized my grandparents had a home in Odessa, Vienna, Berlin, Shtetl in Lithuania. We don't have a picture. Arab Jews who were kicked out of Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and the Arab world, they were told to just leave after they had been there for thousands of years. And all they were able to do was bring a suitcase. They weren't able to sell their homes. They weren't able to sell their business. And the difference between Israel and the Arab world is the Jews took in their people and took care of them. The Arab world didn't do that. Because Israel is looking forward, and the Palestinians and the Arab people are looking backward. And what he mentioned about Taylor Force is so important because not even the Gestapo paid people more money to kill Jews. But the Palestinian Authority actually has it in their covenant that the more Jews you kill, the more money you get. And what Taylor Force did was it stopped $300 million that was going into the Palestinian Martyrs Fund every year. So and so much of this is with the support of Mike Pence. He's an extraordinarily modest man, perhaps too modest. But he has, Ron Dermer said that he came up with the toughest anti-BDS bill of anybody. And he helped create a foundation to fight anti-Semitism. So with that said, this man is our extraordinary brother. When Elie Wiesel, who I spoke to shortly before he died, and he said to me, Harley, we as Jews, we are a beleaguered people. And Israel, as a nation, is a beleaguered nation. And we really don't have friends. Maybe a few. Well, if we do have a few friends, our best friend is Vice President Mike Pence.